Earlier this year, I put out a survey asking members of the derby community that identify as trans, genderqueer, gender nonconforming, and intersex to provide some information on their experience in roller derby in relation to their gender identity. I received so many more responses than expected and learned a lot about these members of our community and how we can better support them. So let's talk about how to make roller derby more gender inclusive. Alright, first off, personally. The first thing you need to do is educate yourself. Several of the responses cited ignorance as a source of concern. We live in the 21st century with the world of information at our fingertips. There is no excuse not to know Gender 101. Use Google, read a book, check out some other YouTube channels. Just start including trans people in your scope of vision when considering the world. Hopefully after learning more, you'll see how some common language can be hurtful and harmful and will choose to change and challenge these behaviors if encountered. One of the easiest things you can do is respect people's pronouns. Pronouns are a big deal. One respondent from the survey said, "Some folks know that I use they, them pronouns, but just won't use them." A moment of mindfulness or uncomfortableness is worth being respectful to another person. Cis people get pissy when you misgender their pets, so... These people already have it rough in our society. Don't perpetuate this and make it worse by being a douchebag. People will understand there's an adjustment period when they make the switch. Just make an active effort to get it right. Apologize when you screw up and do your damnedest to make sure it doesn't happen again. Other than pronouns, start being aware of microaggressions, which can create a really toxic and unsafe environment, and work to not perpetuate those. Microaggressions can be things like assuming that trans women are too aggressive or unsafe to play with, or coaches or bench managers referring to whole groups of skaters as ladies or girls. Alright, so that brings us to what we can do at the league level. Again, first things first, educate. Hold gender and diversity training for your league. This training should be mandatory for board members, coaches, league officials, and volunteers, and highly recommended for the rest of the league to participate. Not only should each individual person be mindful of checking themselves in the language they use, but your league should also be mindful of the language it uses. Examine and address skater, team, league, event, and drill names that may perpetuate transphobia. And this is very important. Hold each other accountable. One of my favorite quotes of all time is, "What you accept, you encourage." If you don't call someone out on their shit, they're going to think it's okay to keep doing it. Don't let that happen. Stand up for your teammates and demand they get the respect they deserve. One thing mentioned by several survey respondents is the need for gender-neutral bathrooms and changing areas. Ask your venue if you could put signs on the door saying gender neutral or bathroom with urinals, bathroom without urinals. After parties were also mentioned by several survey respondents. You don't have to have your after parties at gay bars and queer clubs to ensure trans people's safety. But ask trans members of your league or members of the LGBTQ community in your area what establishments they suggest. They're going to have the best insight on if the bouncer was an asshole or if they had issues with the management or felt unsafe in any way. Bouts, practices, fundraisers, and after parties are all places where everyone should feel safe and comfortable. Create and hold inclusive policies, including non-discrimination and gender policies. And if you don't agree with a policy of your governing body, propose a change. Once you've eliminated obvious transphobia from your league and have plans set in place for how to make a safer environment, explicitly declare your league a safe space for trans, gender nonconforming, genderqueer, and intersex people, and continue putting in the work. It's a process, not a destination. As for the sport and the community as a whole, all of the above. Get educated, have discussions on these topics, evaluate transphobic names, create inclusive policies, and hold everyone in our community accountable for their actions. The best part about roller derby is the community, so let's make sure it's a safe space for everyone involved. I know that was a lot of information and I actually couldn't get into everything in this video, so let's keep the discussion going. Share this video with your league and discuss how you'll ensure your league is someplace trans folks feel safe. Do you have questions or suggestions on what more we could do? Comment below or find me on Twitter at NoxTalks. Thanks for watching!